we've got here is failure to communicate.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Good morning. Howdy Boomy podcast today on the 18th of July. A beautiful Thursday here in Western New York. I never saw the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but I'm observing it every day, looking at the political scene in our country. This Trump hatred, it's a derangement. It's been going on since the minute he announced that he was going to run for president in 2016 with the Hillary Clinton and Robert Mueller and lawsuits. But the worst part is listening to the people on television. MSNBC is one of the most un-American networks I've ever seen in my life. Every black person on there is a racist. They hate white people. It is amazing how they're characterizing the assassination attempt this past weekend of Donald Trump. Joy Reid, who is one of the top racists there, poo-poos it, saying that the bandage he has on his ear is a prop. Where do they get these people from? I cannot understand what Donald Trump did, what he discovered as President of the United States, that strikes fear into these people that they hate him as much. They have to derate him. They have to go to the public and make up stories about him so he doesn't run again. What did he discover? There's a cesspool there. There's a deep state that's dangerous. You're sitting here, you have an FBI Secret Service director that's totally incompetent and found out that she was Joe Biden's close confidant on security. That's how she got the job. Jill Biden. Did you vote for Hunter Biden? Did you vote for Jill Biden? They're his main advisors now. Everybody around him is bailing out. But they're listening. He's listening to Jill and Hunter. Hunter, the drug addict, the convicted felon, who, unless his daddy has power, he's screwed. Jill Biden loves the power. She's screwed. They want him to stay. 1968, Hubert Humphrey was running against Richard Nixon. There was chaos in the Democratic Convention in the city of Chicago, which ironically hosts the Democratic National Convention this year. The same thing is going to happen. But with all the chaos, anti-war, insanity around the world, Hubert Humphrey came within a whisker of winning that election. They said that the Chicago demonstrations, the Chicago Convention killed him. That if it was a week later, that if the election was held at the end of November instead of the beginning, he would have won that election. Be careful here what's going to go on. It's going to be a very, very close election. Thrown into the mix, the manipulation of votes. There's going to be 2 million illegal aliens going to the polls this year. Don't kid yourself. That's why they're letting them in. Power. Absolute power. The corruption. Be careful. There's going to be a very, very close election. You're going to have to get out and vote. What makes a 20-year-old want to become an assassin? You know, you say everything starts at the kitchen table. You wonder what the parents were like. You wonder what the family was like. What possesses a 20-year-old kid to want to assassinate Donald Trump? I just don't understand it. That family must be investigated, not so much for the criminal activity, but for the way this kid was brought up. Were they hands-on? Weren't they hands-on? It's just amazing to me that a 20-year-old kid would be an assassin. And imagine if the parents were totally out of the box on this, having to claim the body of a kid that's head was blown off by Secret Service sharpshooters. A terrible, terrible, terrible thing. But answers must be gotten, and this administration is muddying the waters, and they're not giving any answers. It's going to be interesting next week with the hearings. See what they get. There's going to be behind the scenes going on daily now to get Biden out of the race. We know now that Obama's running the country. His cohorts are running the country. At least they were until Hunter and Jill took over. Nancy Pelosi wants him out. Always remember Nancy Pelosi reconvening Congress just so they could get the post office funding because they knew massive voter fraud could happen through postal. Doing it again this year. That's why this is going to be a very, very close election. There's going to be fraud. It's going to be almost impossible to prove. But maybe now the American people will wake up and see how bad the deep state is. I didn't vote for Jill. I didn't vote for Hunter. And it's a sad state of affairs when Hunter Biden is your main advisor on where this country has to go. Get out and vote. Don't trust anybody else to vote for you. If you have convictions, if you love this country, whether you want to go vote. I'm a Democrat. If you want to vote Democratic or Republican, that's then totally up to you. But please exercise your right to vote. Watch the Howdy Boomy podcast on the Howdy Boomy channel on YouTube. The Howdy Boomy Show. Truth, justice, the American way. God bless you. God bless America. Again, make sure you vote. See you tomorrow with our Shift Head of the Week.